Hey man, we back. Been a little minute out of
Say,
action, but hey man, this ain't the usual stream. It's just a little video for today. But what today is? Wednesday. Okay, we got a few days to stream day, but hey, this is a little video me and AG want to just kind of get off. And we got my boy K here. He gonna tap in. We just get a little Falcons update in. Keeping it within the home team for this video. So
say.
we're gonna go through all what we've been doing free agency wise, but especially today, what made us really want to do the video. Got news of a big signing.
Big guy. He's a
Big.
huge guy.
When I say big, boy,
He's huge.
big motherfucker.
Who is it?
What? Calais.
Calais Campbell. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up on the share screen, man.
That's a monster.
He one of them ones.
99 career sacks.
How long he been in the league?
That's all you need to know. 99 career sacks for the 36, I believe, 36 or 37-year-old. So rounding out his career, really, but basically he came to us on a 1-year deal. It was reported that he had meetings with the Jets and the Bills tomorrow.
And the Jags.
He met with the Jazz already, but he skipped the Jets and the Bills meeting to come sign with us. I guess they
Shouts out to Arthur Blank.
Yeah, Arthur Blank. They had a 40-minute conversation on the phone talking about other stuff besides football, off the field, like charity, all type of stuff. And I guess that conversation, along with the coach and the GM direction, got him to sign. So, AG, what's your thoughts on this signing?
Thank the Lord that he heard us when we said, get Grady Jarrett some help. The whole free agency has been nothing but defense and pieces of offense that we need moving forward. I can't complain about no moves that Terry has made. He's been cooking like a hibachi chef the whole free agency so far. I expect at least one or two more moves, maybe a trade here and there, but hey, I can't complain so far. I like the direction that we're going. I don't see it stopping just now because Terry says that the scouts are doing work 24/7, 365. So I expect the process to keep getting better. As far as Calais signing, I mean, hey, I said when he hit the market, I said we need that one veteran piece that can help teach the young bucks what to do and how to do it and leave a legacy or leave a standard for the next defensive lineman that comes up to us in the draft. But I also think that it kind of helps solidify the inside and give us the upper edge, I would say, to draft an edge player in the draft.
Yeah, for sure.
No pun intended.
Right.
While we talking about free agency, what Falcons been doing, we just go ahead and move backwards in the sorts as far as like most recent signings, because like the first day we went crazy. So before this, we had got to we signed another little lineman. Not too much about him. I think he's just a camp body and see what he can do. But we can.
He just came from
receivers we brought in. So Scotty Miller and Mac Hollins added to the wide receiver room. So what's your thoughts about them signings? Me personally, I don't think that's like a wide receiver 2 or 3 type move, but I do think it adds depth to the receiver room. But I think we still need to add through the draft or whatnot.
Right. So as you're saying, like with Scotty Miller coming, cool. He's a speedster. That's one speedster, but that's not gonna solidify us having a strong speedster on our team. He's just a sure-handed guy that has some snaps in the league, so he's not going to have those drops and jitters and stuff like that when it comes down to it. But as far as Mac Hollins, I mean, Mac Hollins is the guy that you really have to worry about, like, really taking off in that third slot position because he can take the top off the defense and he has the tall, lanky body that can, catch over the defenders or a linebacker or a safety that's covering him. Like you said, it does not solidify our wide receiver room. I still look for them to at least try to attempt to get DeAndre Hopkins, if not, another receiver, Odell. But at the same time, like adding it in the draft, I believe we should still add a receiver or two in the draft. One being a speedster and one being another big body receiver that can go up and get it in the red zone once we get down there. If we don't want to punch it in with Tyler Algier.
Yeah. I think Scotty Miller wise, like he probably could be like a gunner on special teams or a backup punt returner or whatnot.
Right.
I think like every move that you make as a team in free agency kind of get like magnified, but you got to fill out your team throughout free agency as well. Every signing don't got to be kind of a home run. Mac Hollins is kind of interesting to me though because I do think he has like potential to be a mid-tier number 2/number 3 receiver in our offense, but both of them can run block though, which is the number one thing in our offense. That's why I'm skeptical about the D-Hop rumors because as a top receiver, you probably don't want to go to an offense like ours.
Right.
But I think one thing that we are like forgetting is we have Kyle Pitts, which is like a bunch of targets need to go his way as well. So when we think about like receivers we missing, we have a receiver tight end hybrid in Pitts that is going to eat a lot of targets. Of course, Drake London probably is like the number one receiver in the offense, whatnot. And then you got Cordell as well. So when you add these two receivers, that's just those extra touches like that you'll get throughout the season or whatnot. And then another guy we can talk about later in the video is Jonnu, who we got over from the Patriots, who worked with Arthur already. So I still think like a top end outside receiver is like in the draft. I'm pretty sure they'll add to the receivers in the draft. But like if you look at this dude highlights, I mean, he looked the part definitely.
Yep.
So yeah, I think so. I think, but with Scotty Miller coming, that probably signals no more OZ though. Like that's probably it's not coming back next year because I feel like they pretty much feel the same type role. To be honest.
Yeah, they're probably the same height and everything too.
Yeah, definitely. So let me see. So what you think about?
Just picked up both of them.
Yeah, we got both of them. We got Scotty Miller and Mac Hollins. Let me get some Scotty Miller.
Them Falcons making moves, man. I like that.
Oh man, we finally got money to.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. When you got money to spend, but you don't think about how much it costs, you just say, "I want that. I want that."
They ain't looking at that price tag. Come on.
No sir.
We got us a little dude that can take the top off. And that's what we need, some verticality in our offense because our offense is predicated on intermediate routes, but you get somebody that can take it to the house.
Yep.
And damn near just a third down type receiver. You know, them little white dudes and out the slot be like nasty on third down.
Like a Wes Welker, Cole Beasley type guy.
That's all we need.
That'll open up what they trying to do on offense if they had that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we also, I know, like moving backwards, we brought in Mike Hughes when we lost Isaiah Oliver, who I wanted to bring back, but I think
it's hard to see him go once again.
Fast.
I think Dean Pease was more into Oliver. You know, when you bring in a new staff, they kind of want to bring in who they want to bring in. So what's your thought on Mike Hughes? Basically, they told him he's going to be manning the slot corner position. So what's your thoughts on him?
So basically, I mean, I feel like this. If he comes in and plays good, he'll be straight. But if he comes in and they draft a cornerback at number 8, which is not off the table, but not likely, then it's like he's gonna play for his job. But he basically signed a 2-year contract, so it's telling you that they're gonna put him in certain positions where he thrived. And I think the slot might have been where he might have thrived the most last year, as far as moving inside from the outside. And then as far as production for this year, I don't think he's gonna get as much touches as we think because we may, like I said, we may still draft a cornerback at 8. And if we draft a cornerback at 8 or anyone in the draft that can potentially be a starter over him, then he'll get less PT and more special teams play.
Right. It's interesting to me that he's a former first-round pick, so that pedigree is there.
Right.
And like you said, last year, I believe like he was especially best on the outside, I believe, but he does work out the slot as well. So
right.
I feel like we could do worse than him at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Like, so I'm not too much tripping on the pick. Like you said, it's low risk, high reward if he turns out good. I mean, here you see he got special teams like experience. But like you said, I still don't think it stopped us from going corner in the draft, regardless, because Casey Hayward probably on his last couple years or whatnot. So
yeah, he only signed a 2-year deal with us when he signed.
So what you think about it was somebody else I want Goldman coming out of retirement.
Eddie Goldman, I mean, last year I hated him because I was just like, why did you sign with us for 4 days and
bro.
Retire on us? Like, if you needed some money, bro, you could have just did a GoFundMe or something, bro. But like, I feel like it was probably something under the table that we didn't know about that he had going on. He already told the team he was going to do all of that stuff. And ever since Brady came out of retirement, you're going to see a lot of players use the retirement as a crutch to either get away from a team or a crutch to do something else or recover from an injury. He might have been injured last year and didn't want to play on the contract because he wanted to earn the next contract and be like fully healthy or something like that. I don't know. We never know. But having another beast on the inside of the line of scrimmage where the most pressure should be put on quarterbacks, it doesn't do anything. But
oh my God, look at him. He just ate there.
Oh my God.
Boy.
Like, bro, it just makes you think like Baker Mayfield's not getting away from this guy. Andy Dalton's not getting away from this guy. A rookie that starts for Carolina is definitely not getting away from this guy. And Derek Carr is not getting away from this guy. Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to even picture like us really not doing what we're supposed to do on defense. Now with a coach on defensive side that has the numbers behind his name, he's getting the pieces that he wants. And Grady Jarrett, one of your stud best linemen forever on defense, has been patient, and now he's finally getting the help. I expect to see a bigger season from him this year too.
Yeah. I know Taquan Graham was one of the highest rated like run stuff and defensive tackles last year. And he only in his third year. Of course, he got hurt for the rest of the season. I believe a torn Achilles or something like that. So,
right, just
the size of the linemen we're getting. I mean, I'm so tired of us being undersized and getting pushed back on run plays and so Calais Campbell, like 6'7", 320 or whatnot.
He's standing up offensive lineman in the hole, bro. You're not even
Goldman. He can eat double teams, and he's only 29 years old. So, like I said, he don't got to come in and be a monster. Just eat a double team so we can get one-on-ones across the line, and the linebackers can flow in. So that's all we need is somebody eat double teams. Ayamada, who we're gonna get to later, and then of course Grady, who, like I said, he benefits the most from. Like you said, he benefits the most from all these signings we're doing because you can't afford the triple team. Of course, he's still going to get the occasional double team because as a coach, you would rather have the other dudes beat one-on-ones instead of leaving Grady one-on-one because that's
right. That's not even fair. That's a guaranteed
tackle for loss. But not so many double teams now he has to see, So it's kind of like just good that we got somebody like this. And honestly, it says a lot to me that he decided to come out of retirement. I guess he's kind of seen like what we had going on or whatnot, and what we was doing. So, I definitely like that. So, I believe now we can just take it back to the first day. We brought back McGarry on that honestly great value deal, in my opinion, compared to what
the
market said.
Compared to how he played, that was a great deal.
And then we brought back, of course, we re-signed Lindstrom. Well, we didn't re-sign him, but we extended Lindstrom.
Yep. Highest paid guard in the league.
What's your thoughts on just McGarry and that Lindstrom combo on the right side of the line?
So it was weak at first when they first came in the league. I can't lie. Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff saw them at the Reese's Cup Bowl and seen them playing together and thought that since they had that type of like could be drafted in the same. So they drafted Chris first, and they traded back into the first round and got Caleb the same year that Lamar got drafted. And like at first we're thinking like, dang, we're trading back in to get a quarterback. We're going to get Lamar for sure. And we got another lineman. It's kind of like, I don't know. The duo started off very weak. They weren't really producing as much. Chris had early health issues. Caleb had early health issues. But we didn't really see any progression until, honestly, the first year that Arthur Smith was here was when you seen Chris turn up. And last year, even though it was a contract year for Caleb, you seen him kind of get better at holding his block. Because I still don't think Caleb is all the way there as far as his development as a player, which is not his fault, but at the same time, coaching does play a lot in how a player develops at times.
Yeah, I agree for the most part. I think for Lindstrom wise, I think pretty much since day one he kind of been solid, but McGarry, just the shit around him that kind of makes it worse. And plus,
right,
McGarry is a pass blocker, not a pass blocker. He's a run blocker, and his pass blocking grade is kind of what really kept him from getting paid as much as some of the higher O linemen,
right,
or the tackles that got paid. So, but I'm all for camaraderie and keeping the same line together. Of course, we got Matthews on the left tackle who's been holding that down since he came in the league.
Yep.
And then Lindstrom pretty much just got extended for his prime of his career. So then you might as well bring McGarry back because, I mean, why create another hole when you already got somebody? And then to pay him under what he probably thought he was going to get paid because we really let him test the market. And I'm glad we didn't pick up his fifth-year option because he didn't play worthy of getting it picked up.
Right.
And I'm glad that he showed that he can, but like you said, it's really the coaching. I feel like Arthur Smith's system fits him better compared to what we was trying to do beforehand with Matt Ryan, which is throw the ball more. We really didn't have an established run game.
Dropping back 30 times a game, 40, 50 times a game.
So, yeah, I definitely and I was honestly, I wanted to bring McGarry back, so I was glad we ended up bringing him back. So, if you kick it back further than that, when we brought in some people, here's one of the additions we added, Caden Ellis over from New Orleans, who had 7.5 sacks and only 14 games played. So that's just crazy production right there. You can see his highlights. He's getting sacks from all over, and he's in coverage as well.
17 game season, though. Good gracious.
So we brought him over. We can just talk on him and his buddy Anyamata that we brought in as well from New Orleans. So what's your thoughts on the former Saints player that we brought in?
Okay, so I just want to get this out there. In one of Terry Fontenot's recent interviews on AtlantaFalcons.com, he expressed that even though we picked up these players, the fact that we hired Ryan Nielsen was way before we got all these players. Like the players were already on our free agency list to target before we hired Ryan Nielsen. So that just speaks to the smartness that Terry's thinking with rebuilding his team. He already got the relationship with most of the players. He already had some type of familiarity that was going to bring him into the building. So all Ryan Nielsen was the icing on the cake to bring the guys in. So I think, once again, Anyamata is going to help wreak havoc in the middle with Grady. I can just see the stunts and twists now with oh my gosh, bro. I can just see a lot more quarterback sacks and a lot of more quarterback hits. They're going to feel us this year.
I think I'm most excited for dude right here, him and Troy Anderson, because defensive coordinator already was saying he'd been in communication with Troy Anderson, and I like his measurables and stuff, like his potential. And then you got his twin almost in a sense. Caden Ellis, so like
I was just ready to say they're almost the same size, bro. And Holmes was just a rookie last year, so just imagine how big he's going to be after 1 year in the gym.
Bring back Rashawn Evans still, so I mean you pretty much bring him back. The linebacker position is set because I believe Michael Walker, this is his last year with Atlanta. So
has to be because, bro, I've seen nothing but underproduction from him. He's not a good tackler, and his pass game skills are off and on every game. So
I think for dude to get 7 sacks and not be a traditional defensive tackle, I think linemen though. Like this man's getting sacks from the A gap, B gap, outside, rushing as an end. I mean,
dropping back into coverage down the seam on big tight ends, bro. Like
that's what kind of players you need for real. Like look at that. He come all the way from the left side, chase the play down on the right. Like that's the high motor type players that we need for real.
Exactly. Look at who he doing it against too.
I know we brought in that man, the big fish that we brought in. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss the signings that we had did. I know we're gonna get the bait, so we brought in.
What about
we can touch on Jonnu before we get the bait. So we end up trading for Smith from the Patriots. We worked with Arthur Smith before, so he had a kind of a down year with the Patriots. But I think it's good value because we got him to come for a 7th round pick, and he restructured his contract for us. So as a tight end too, I mean, you can't really find too many better 1-2 punches besides Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith. Like, so what's your thoughts about that?
So my thoughts is this, bro. Jonnu Smith is a weapon that just so happens to play tight end, just like Kyle Pitts is a weapon that just so happens to play tight end. Jonnu Smith is a little bit stronger than Kyle Pitts, so I expect Jonnu to be able to take them jet sweeps. The only reason his stats were dropped off because they didn't know how to use him. He's back with the coach that unlocked him originally. So all I can see is this offense opening up even more now. Desmond Ridder has options. You can run the ball with Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson, or whoever you get in the draft. You can throw the ball to Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Scotty Miller, Mac Hollins, and whoever else you get. You can hand the ball off to Jonnu. You can run it yourself with Desmond Ridder. Or, I mean, hey, there are options on this team now. And on offense, that's what was missing last year. We didn't have any weapons for the quarterback to really throw to. And then when the quarterback did have time to throw weapons, we're talking about Mariota here. We just seen that he made the wrong decision every time. But when you have a competent quarterback that can make the basic throws in an offense where it's run first, the intermediate stuff comes easier.
We gonna get the Ridder for sure, and that's when I really want to bring that boy Paper Chase in because I had a talk piece that I want to get out about Ridder and the whole Lamar stuff. So I'm gonna say that, but okay, let's get to the big fish that we brought in. We brought that man Jesse Bates. I believe we made him the 4th highest paid safety of all time, but in my opinion, it's well deserved. We got a general on that back end, a captain on the back end, a racer on the back end, who the corners can just cover now. They ain't got to worry about if the safety gonna be there. Richie Grant can move down to that strong. Honestly, them two can flip. So you might not even know by lining up who the strong and who the free safety is when they're both out. Because they can both be interchangeable. Jesse Bates can come down into the box and hit. Richie can come down to the box and hit if he get his head on right and actually tackle. Because I know he can hit, but it's the missed tackles that I worry about. But both ball hawks, I mean, Jesse Bates was mocked to us as being a free agent acquisition for the longest. It just made sense. So, man, that was the big fish for us this offseason. So what's your thoughts about that?
Hey, we needed some type of game changer, game sealer on this side of the ball. Defense needed to be spoiled this year, and they've been doing nothing but that so far. That just goes to show you, like, the gaping holes that we had before that were seen by other teams because these guys were on other teams before they came here. So they know what the holes were on this team. And for a guy like Jesse Bates to even want to come to Atlanta, hey.
And his comments about the Bengals, he compared the Bengals and the Falcons and said, like, the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, nobody saw that coming. It was kind of like the same position we're in, and now he want to build that and see that as like a thing they can do here in Atlanta. And honestly, all the free agents who come here kind of say the same thing. Like they see the potential of what they can like build here. Everybody's trying to build here up. They've been trying to build up on the culture that Arthur Smith and them have already built. That's why you get free agents in the first place. Free agents don't really come somewhere they just don't think they can thrive or think like it's a good culture. So I think that's a good thing for us to only be like a 7-win team and still be able to draw people. Of course, the money is a big part of it, but when you get top guys like this, who honestly could have played a lot more places, probably in a better situation, but he's willing to come here and build the situation. So I can respect that. And looking at the thumbnails over here, I did forget about Heineke. So I like that pickup too, as far as like a backup quarterback. Like I said, you can do way worse than that. But the thing I like most about Heineke is he already knows he's the backup and he accepts that he wants to help Ritter versus Mariota, who I just never really got that vibe from. So we can touch on Heineke before we get on the Ritter thing. So what you think about Heineke addition?
Okay, so I mean, I think Heineke was a good pickup as far as being a backup, like you said, and knowing his role, knowing what to do and what he was gonna have to do and what he was not gonna be able to do coming in. And like, I mean, they had a list of people that was from Georgia, like on their free agency list. So I'm pretty sure he was one of the ones that they wanted to bring home too. But they also know that he's a situational quarterback as well. He's played in playoff games. He's almost won playoff games against the Buccaneers when they had Tom Brady with the Washington Commanders, of course. And then you just know he's a gamer. He's a gamer guy. You see plays like this, and you just know, like, okay, he knows situational football. He knows if I have the ability to run or the lane to run, I'm going to do that. You don't see many quarterbacks sticking their nose into there and willing to take that hit from that safety coming downhill from you. So, I mean, it's a good pickup, and I still expect them to sign another quarterback, if not draft a quarterback late round or if not early round.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing I said about Mike Hughes. Like, you could have did worse. So like, if you have a guy who's won meaningful games as your backup, who tell you he will like commit to being a helpful mentor to your starter, then that's all you really can ask for, to be honest.
Right.
So I kind of want to get it to the Ritter conversation, like, because I kind of been doing some thinking, and like, honestly, at first, yeah, I was ready for Ritter to take over because like Mariota was just complete trash, and I just wanted to see what we had in a young guy. And then like the rumors start swirling around about Lamar asking for a trade, and of course we were a fit. And then like that whole thing came about, but honestly, once the report came out that we weren't interested, it kind of like just shut things down. But these past couple of days with like but Arthur Smith, like Fontenot and Arthur Blank kind of expressing their confidence in Ritter, it kind of just made me sit back and think, like, if you really look at Ritter as a prospect, he's not all that bad for real. I think what works against him in the fans' eyes is he was drafted in the 3rd round, so they don't see him as a franchise quarterback. If you look at his raw athletic score, he got like a 9.62, I believe, which is fucking amazing for a quarterback because Anthony Richardson got a perfect 10. So if you look at this dude's score, he got a 9.8. So his 40 was good. Everything was good except for his height and his weight, pretty much. But all the stuff he tested on he pretty much killed. So, I mean, he's a hell of a prospect coming out of college. If you look at his college highlights, I mean, it's nothing that you really don't like for real. The only thing that was really like a problem was his accuracy. The accuracy thing can be worked on, but I think we just gonna have to give him meaningful reps. So I'm gonna ride with Ritter because of the simple fact, like Arthur Smith and them boys haven't really lied to us yet. Like he came in and said he was gonna fix the run game, make us a run heavy team. He's done that. They came in and said they was gonna get us out this cap situation that we in, and we're out of that. So I mean, who's to say that I know more than a dude who's in the building with this guy every day and he actually coaches NFL football? Like I'm not gonna sit there and just say, nah, Ritter's not the answer. Like this man is obviously smarter than me. Now, I don't think it's that big of a investment in Ritter that if he just sucks this year that we don't go somewhere else next year with it. Because like I said, he's only a 3rd round pick. But I do think he deserves a year to prove himself. It's not fair to judge him off of 4 games because Pat Mahomes, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Brett Favre, none of them look like who they was after 4 games. And I'm not saying Desmond Ritter's going to be on that level, but nobody looked like shit after 4 games. So, yeah, I would love to have Lamar here, but, I mean, at the end of the day, you just got out of cap hell and build the team the right way. And who's to say who knows what 5 quarterback will come a free agent in 2-3 years when you got a team built. Then that's when you sell out for the quarterback you're trying to get right now. I mean, Ritter ain't looking all that damn bad, honestly. It's just everybody, when we had Matt Ryan, everybody begged for a rebuild. Now when we rebuilding and we got a new quarterback that can run and this and that, now everybody complaining. So one thing I learned about football and just sports fans in general, it's always going to be those certain group of fans that complain about every fucking thing. And I guarantee you they don't buy no tickets to the game. They don't support the team in no way. So honestly,
right.
If you just complain about Ritter, you complain about this. And honestly, it was motherfuckers complaining about us even trying to get Lamar. So what do you want? You don't want Lamar. You didn't want Matt Ryan. You don't want Ritter. You just want to complain. So at the end of the day, I go for the team on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back. So if Ritter is our quarterback, he got the Falcons jersey on, then fuck it. I'm a Desbian. I'm a Desbian.
I said with Desby.
That was my thing piece on that, man. I just had to come around and trust in the brain of the team and whatnot, because if the owner shows faith in you as a second-year guy and they believe in your intangibles, they believe you're a leader, they believe you nobody gonna outwork you. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear my quarterback is doing all the little shit. So what you think about that, AG?
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my piece on my boy Ritter, man. Cause look, when people were dogging how bad the quarterback class was last year, I said this man Desmond or Malik is gonna go to Atlanta. But if we get a quarterback, I would prefer it be Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter played the most, the second or third most games in college. So that means he's seasoned. He's played a lot of seasonal.
44-6 in college. Never lost at home.
Right. Never lost at home. So you bring that here. He ain't never lost home either.
Nope.
So
2-0 at home.
You got to think about it. Desmond Ritter is a winner. He even led a team, an undefeated Cincinnati team against Alabama, which we know at the time was a power team. So we couldn't really even compare the two schools because of the division that they're in. But for them to be able to even compete and get to that level and him to lead them there, it just shows his leadership. As far as like him being drafted in the 3rd round, that literally was the perfect chance for us to get him and to save money on a quarterback. We're not going to pay a high price Lamar Jackson guaranteed contract deal when it's time for him to get his money. He'll be getting a contract, but it'll be more structured and it won't be smacking us over the head because of where he was drafted. And I do respect the fact that they held him from playing last year and let Mariota trash it up a little bit, only to teach him what not to do in the situations or where in the offense stuff is supposed to be thrown or supposed to be ran, so that you know what checks to make and stuff like that. Because it just seemed like he had already been out there doing that whenever he stepped on the field. Like, of course, first game he had jitters, and we're in New Orleans, and it's a feisty crowd, feisty environment. Both teams still playing for playoff spots. So it's not like the stage wasn't set for him, but he literally progressed in 4 games. And we can't put the label of he's the next guy for the next century on him until we give him this full season evaluation, like you said. And I mean, I'm happy for Desmond because he gets Kyle Pitts back, he gets Drake London back, new Jonnu Smith, still got Michael Pruitt. You still got Scotty Miller, got Tyler Algier, got Cordell Patterson. They're giving him the security blankets he needs so that when it's 3rd down and 8, he has a receiver. And that's all in 4 games. 708 yards in 4 games. And I guarantee
you can see his stats get better every game. Completion percentage, completion percentage goes up, except for the Tampa Bay game, went back down to 63, but yards pretty much going up. Like everything looked better. His rating got better every game. So I mean, what's I'm not gonna say what's not to like about him, but what are you necessarily upset about? Because the Lamar rumors came out. You can't get mad about something you don't have and shit on what you do have.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like you can't drive your car and then look at somebody else with a better car or whatnot and say, "Damn, I wish I had that car."
Right.
And say, "I don't want mine no more." Like
your car
that kind of makes sense. Point B. You can't fuck up. You need to be, first of all, you can't fuck up your position, your like what you got going on, because like Arthur Smith and Terry have been saying for the longest, they have a plan they have implemented. They came in with a plan, and Arthur Blank notices that plan. That's why he give him the leeway to have 2 back-to-back 7 and 10 seasons, because he knows that this team was not ready to be nothing for real. You came in with an aging quarterback. You came in with bad salary cap. So this is the first season they had resources to get people they wanted. So this is almost year 1 for them.
Right. This is like the fresh slate of, we don't have to worry about this contract still being tied to our money. We don't have to worry about still paying this guy who's playing for another team, getting money from them as well. It's less to worry about and more to work on.
You get the defense right, like how they doing. You get the offense to fit Arthur Smith's system. You don't get the offense to fit what y'all or what fans think is what we need. No, you get the offense to be the best Arthur Smith's offense, which we know is run heavy, play action, intermediate passes, tight ends. That's our offense. Ain't no more
occasional deep shot,
300, Calvin Ridley for 100, Roddy White for 100. There's no more of that no more. That ain't what our offense is. It's Algier 25 times a game and whoever else. So, Paper Chase, what you think about that, as far as like fans kind of always complaining about whatnot, and do you think it's kind of messed up to Ritter, who really hasn't been given a fair shot?
Yeah, it's kind of like group thinking. Like somebody see a whole lot of people thinking that, then they think they right about that. So it's like, I say, get a young man his shot for real. Like, can't really go on like outside noise, and you know what I'm saying. Y'all know what y'all got in that locker room behind the scenes, what you see, like the trust that you put in him. So
exactly.
Everything else just outside noise. So I say,
end of the day, can't nobody go against the coach and the GM. They the ones who see him in practice every day. All we see is game day. We don't see what they see in film study, the practice, whatnot.
And so they the professionals at it. Like, we ain't the professionals.
So exactly. And even though professionals, they get it wrong sometimes, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, as fans, we gotta ride with whatever dumbass decision we think or whatever smart ass decision we think a team make. Our team makes, especially. Because if we going against our own players, then who the hell gonna support him? If we don't fuck with him, we don't show him the love that he's supposed to get. Because nobody, I mean, I'm gonna say nobody, but for the most part, everybody want to get rid of Matt Ryan. And we'll be lucky if we ever get a quarterback that with the accolades and the stats that he put up, whether you like them or not. Matt Ryan was the most winningest quarterback we had.
Yep.
So, and like even if like people have points in what they saying, like the fact of the matter is, look at what we got like right now at the moment. So it's like, what you think that's gonna do to like their confidence and you know what I'm saying,
Right. Like
want them to
even if
do
you
it.
don't think he's gonna be shit, why that he's the guy. They already have expressed that he's the guy. So that thought in your head that you put out there into the world is not really helping. But like I said,
Exactly.
everybody ain't really a fan for real. Some folks they have like if somebody tell you, oh, if the Falcons would have got Lamar, I was gonna go to the game. Like you're not really a fan. You should go to the games if they have a fucking puppy at quarterback because you're a fan of the team. Like it doesn't
Right.
matter who you a Lamar fan then if you were just gonna go to see him. But like I said, this dude right here, his combine numbers was crazy. He's an athlete. He's a winner in college. Everybody says his leadership, his intangibles, he's competitive. So I mean, honestly, I can't see. I like I said, AG. I guess it's the third round. And like you said, most people consider this quarterback class to be weak.
Yeah, and one thing about it, well, two things really. I already watched a couple of videos and stuff like that. I stay on the Falcons app, but when I watch the videos and stuff like that, they say when they talk, every time they talk to Desmond, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. He's somewhere working, doing something to make himself better.
Exactly.
So if you have a working leader that has that type of mindset at an early stage in his career already, it just gives you more leeway to give him the reins because he's ready for that moment. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but Desmond Ridder deserves this opportunity. He deserves a chance to show us whether he is or isn't that guy fully. And I think that's also why they got Tyler Heineke, because they know even if Desmond Ridder wins you a few games and you lose a couple, you can only lose a certain amount of game before you say, hey, Desmond, we're not going to let you stink it all the way up. We still got a chance to get to on the playoffs. Go ahead, Taylor. Go ahead, get us there. And I think that's why they signed him like that. But I don't know, man. Like,
I think
it's a lot of people that think that Ridder was that thought that Ridder was supposed to be this day one starter just to prove that he's worth being our quarterback. But it's like when you develop a guy and let a guy learn how to run a NFL offense in general, their mind starts opening up a little bit more.
so.
Shoot, I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be mad about getting that boy Sanu now.
Here's a thread from somebody who reports on the Falcons. They say, for those wondering why the Falcons are so in on Ridder right now, he's been working out with some of his wide receivers and tight ends and running backs all offseason trying to get a timing in place. They've been running routes and catching for him and really trying to put in work. He's one of those guys that while he isn't the most physically talented or best arm out there, he's going to outwork everyone, and that's something you just can't teach. And here, this is him throwing with Sanu. So, like you said, man,
bro. Hey, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I already moved my seats, bro. I moved down from the top. I'm at 201 now, so I would definitely be in the house every single game. I might go to a couple of away games this year, probably 4 games. I'm gonna try to go to the Jacksonville game, Nashville game, and the Carolina game. That sound about where I'm gonna be at. But if you think about it, man, our schedule is really cake besides maybe 1 or 2 teams.
I believe we got the softest schedule in the league next year.
Yep.
If I could fucking find our schedule, that shit is crazy. This it. I see everybody else schedule, but ours. This ain't it.
If everyone got the Jets on it, that's the one we playing this year.
That ain't it. That's the first one. They probably ain't got no image for it already. They showing the home opponents over there, but
yeah, they got it. They got all the opponents set. They just don't know when they playing them.
So yeah, like Arizona, Washington. I mean, folks in our division. I mean, nobody in the league at this point is a pushover, but we don't got no powerhouses on our schedule. So to say,
right. Green Bay gonna be ran by Jordan Love. Kirk Cousins ain't gonna be the same with Minnesota. Houston is a new team with DeMeco Ryans' first year head coach. Indianapolis doesn't have a quarterback. Carolina has number 1 pick. We got to see what the number 1 pick is gonna be. Chicago, they got Chicago stuff going on. They got a little something going on in Chicago. Detroit might be the game where it's a toss-up, where we literally have to go out there and outman them.
10 wins out of this schedule. It ain't gonna take many wins to win our division.
Oh yeah, our division is gonna be
11 wins. This should be the magic number.
Yep. I can definitely see double-digit wins for this team this year. Even though I seen it last year, but it was a couple throws. We were only a couple throws and a couple fumbles away from having double-digit wins last year.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't see the optimism with it last year, but Arthur Smith really develop his plan. But my next train of vision is just seeing the defense come into something, because right now it ain't no identity to this defense. The defense got to match the offense. Right now the offense is nasty in your face. You know we're gonna run, and you can't stop it. The defense got to get on that tight timing.
Like you're not gonna be able to run on us, and you can't pass on us, bro. So
the additions that we made. So what you think with the additions that we made? What that set up as far as where we go with that 8th pick?
Okay, so as far as our additions now, we've added bodies on the inside and we've added bodies on the outside, but there's still one hole left on the outside. And I feel like that one hole left on the outside is going to be filled with Nolan Smith. In a recent interview, he was asked about what the Falcons had in store for him or what he liked about the Falcons interview. And he replied and he said, the Falcons seem to have a plan for me already in place. And when he came to his interview, I was just like, Terry Fondos is working behind the scenes, bro. He's doing stuff that ain't nobody doing. So the only thing that I think that could happen is we either trade and get Nolan or trade back in and get Nolan. Either way, we need to get Nolan Smith. This needs to be your guy coming off the edge on the other side. He's coming to the quarterback. He's not even hand on the ground.
I don't know. I feel like he give me Vic Beasley vibes.
Oh no, he's
combine junkie and then undersized outside linebacker. Like I'd rather stay away. If we can get him like late first round, like a trade back, okay, I'm cool with that. But not with 8.
Right.
8. I'd rather go Gonzalez or Jalen Carter if they fall, or Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Gonzalez. So do you think Porter Jr. is 8 worthy?
No, I honestly don't think no corner in this draft besides Gonzalez is 8 worthy. But honestly, you can't really even look at the draft no more and say who's worthy of an 8th. Like, it's how the team respectively has their board organized.
Right.
Like, I'd rather have the number 1 corner at 8 if that was our second need and our first need was edge rusher, but the third best edge rusher was up there.
Right.
I'd rather get the best value at 8. So that's why I believe Bijan could be a real threat to be our 8th, like that first pick, because I've been seeing that shit all offseason, literally. And folks have not been warmed up to it. But the thing is, you get Bijan in this offense, that might be what can take no receiver, but fuck the receivers. Him in our offense might be what can take the offense to a whole nother level, because him and Algier, and then you can bring the RPO side of the game in. You got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Janu.
That's nasty. I don't know who's stopping that offense, man. Who's stopping them receivers, bro?
Only folks that can stop it is the O-line. If the O-line have a regression. But if they can run block like how they did last year, nobody's stopping that.
Which I don't think Arthur Smith is going to let up on them boys at all. He's going to play the best 11 on both sides.
Arthur Smith is opposed to getting a running back, because running backs typically are looked at as not worthy of like a first round pick. But
yeah, they found Algier in the 3rd round.
This dude right here different though.
God.
He got breakaway speed, power, agility. Like, he got it all in one.
Vision.
It's a lot of running backs in the draft this year, but it ain't nothing like this dude right here. Like, you
gosh, but look how he string the blocks out though. Oh my gosh.
You feel me? And if you get him, who he ain't even got to be like your number 1, you can have him and Algier 1A, 1B. Fourth quarter time come in, you can put Cordell back there.
Oh my gosh. Talking about the whole game.
You feel me?
Mouth.
He can catch the ball out the backfield too. So he ain't just one aspect.
Not one dimensional.
Look how he hit that gap outside.
Come on,
back inside.
You're not getting him down with an arm tackle, bro.
He squeezed through them.
Oh,
you feel me? To be a big dude, like, he cutting through them gaps.
Goodness.
So honestly, like you say, I feel like we can go best player available at 8. I'm cool with Gonzalez. Like you get Gonzalez, you got 2 lockdown corners for foreseeable future. Then you got safety on the back
Oh,
end.
definitely. Oh my gosh. You put Gonzalez on the other side of AJ and put Casey in the slot. Come on, bro.
Shit, you can cut Casey and get $5 million, sign somebody else, and
That's
Mike
before
Hughes.
the deadline, before the camp deadline too.
Or honestly, Mike Hughes can just be depth, and you have Casey or however you want to work it.
Hey, he bring that zero swag to Atlanta. I don't know.
This dude right here kind of remind me like that swag of Sauce Gardner coming into the league. I think everybody now gonna try to get that young explosive corner now that they seen Sauce coming to the league
and locking shit up too, bro.
Him and AJ kind of play the same. They both.
I was just ready to say him and AJ got the same playing styles, and he said he watched AJ a lot.
I feel like he might be gone though by the time we draft. But shit, if Jalen Carter fall, you add Jalen Carter to what we've been doing on D line. I don't know.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's what I like. Corners that gonna come down and hit.
Dang.
Yeah, they ain't. Ooh,
well, like you broke his neck.
And bro, he killed his combine. So,
God.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really go wrong with this first.
I ain't gonna lie. Whatever we get at 8 is gonna make us better on whatever side of the ball it comes from, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, it's 99.8% chance we go defense, but that little point something that we go offense, bro.
If we go offense, honestly, I'd rather if we go offense and we get Bijan, I'm cool with doing it at 8. But if we go receiver, I'd rather be in a trade back position.
Right, exactly, and that's when I think they'll start. Terry will start flexing his muscles a little bit more and showing like
what I want. I want a nigga who pick the quarterback up like a damn trophy and just
Well, I thought he was finna do it to him right there.
Oh, he was about to. He didn't want to get that flag though. He already knew it was good.
Just pick him up, hold him up, like a baby.
With one hand. That boy say, "I win."
Look at that.
Like, slow down for me. That's what he told that boy.
Where are you going, sir?
I don't know. That felt like a truck. The character issues are just gonna be that big of a problem, honestly.
Nope. And I also heard in Terry Fontenot's interview, it was like 11 minutes long. He was saying like, I can't expect players to walk in the door and act like me or be like me. All players have different background in different situations. So with that being said, like I don't see him looking at Jalen Carter any different than any other prospect because of what has happened or transpired the past couple months for him. So he is definitely on the radar as potential at 8.
I'm glad he had the messed up pro day because if he fall to 8,
oh my god!
If he fall to 8,
we might have the best defensive line in the league this year.
It's gonna be right up there, just on paper. Because I mean, but a lot of people were saying that with the additions we made that it ruled Carter out. But in my opinion, if you look at all the 5D lines around the league, they got 4 to 6 people that they can put in.
They got depth.
I don't think just because we got people at a position that we can't get this guy because Calais is only 1 year.
Yeah, because I'm about to say Calais Campbell is only a 1-year deal. And you still need somebody that's going to be able to teach him the inside.
Right. If we bring him in, he got people that can mentor him. I mean, this dude is a monster.
Exactly.
What about? I mean, shit. I ain't opposed to trading up for Will Anderson either, though. Like, I just feel like it ain't no way we can go wrong with this draft. Honestly, only thing I'm not opposed to us getting an O lineman because it is some 5 O linemen in this draft. Because the edge rushing class is deep, but it's who's on the board when we get somebody that's gonna make me like kind of upset. Like if Jalen Carter falls to us and we don't get him, that I'm automatically like upset with whatever pick we get.
Right.
Because it's just no fucking way.
Exactly. You can't pass up on Will Anderson. Will Anderson is like
I didn't give up on my my Anthony Richardson thing though, because I just feel like with the defenders that's in this draft, you got to get one of them.
You can't go wrong, bro. You can't go wrong.
But I think this dude right here gonna be gone. There's no chance he slips to us.
But he's huge, bro.
It would have to take a trade up.
And I believe the only team that would trade with us is
Cardinals.
The Cardinals, bro. And the Cardinals will probably trade us D-Hop for whatever picks we give them, plus a player or something like that. We'll probably get D-Hop. And
I wouldn't even care what else we got for the rest of the draft. If we got D-Hop in the first, then this nigga too.
Right.
But, man, like I said, we can't go wrong with it. Like I said, I mean, if it's Lucas Van Ness shit, I mean,
right,
he fits this mold of what Nielsen likes.
Big, fast,
and move in and out. So,
yep,
I'm ready, man. Like I said, they made me proud this free agency. I kind of earlier was kind of down on it a little bit, thinking like, what did we really get? But at the same time, like, we make value out of the shit we get, because when we got Cordell Patterson, nobody thought he was gonna be the type of player he is. And also, players gotta want to come to your team too. Just because you got money don't mean that players want to come play for your team. It don't mean you're gonna get every free agent. So
exactly, like, you're supposed to be intimidated by just talking to Arthur Blank or talking to Arthur Smith or talking to Terry Fontenot. Like,
yeah, so like you said, shit ain't over with. So I'm ready to see what's next. And I'm ready to get to the draft at this point.
Hey, man, I just booked my flight the other day. So we will be live at the draft. I'm going to get, live recordings. I'm going to have my AirPod in like the anchors, man. We're going to be talking after every pick, man. Or just the top 10 picks. It don't even matter. Y'all just let me know. You know what I'm saying?
What you think, Paper Chase? Any other additions that you would like to see need to be made, or what direction they go in the draft? Still got some cap space left, I believe.
Yeah, we still got at least. Well, at these signings, we'll probably have in the low 20s.
Yeah, probably like anywhere between like 12 to 18, 20.
I can't think of nothing off top like that. It seemed like they moving in the right direction though. Finally, right.
We can finally go sit down at the games and watch this shit now.
You feel me? Because even like you want to support the home team, but you don't want to keep like expecting like something different.
Yep.
Right. I feel like it come to a certain point where something can be a problem for so long. Like we haven't had a pass, we haven't had a defense for so long. It can't.
You can ride with that for so long, but then it's like, all right.
Yeah, like it can't keep being. You got Hall of Fame tight ends, Hall of Fame receivers, maybe Hall of Fame quarterbacks. You don't have a ring to show for it because you don't have a defense worth a fuck. Can't keep being. At some point, you gotta try another route. So I think Arthur Smith era is trying a different route. It's trying to have a competent offense, ball control offense, and a shutdown defense. None of that bend don't break. No, we're not bending at all.
Exactly, and that just still goes to show you they trying to do it the right and the smart way. Like they're not overspending on players. They're not reaching too far and giving up too much of what we have for players. Like we're still able to make moves and have the leverage to make the moves later on, like when the draft comes. We could trade down and get more picks if we wanted to.
That's vital.
Really load up.
Like so you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yep.
Exactly. That's why having Ritter isn't such a bad idea, because he's on a rookie deal. So you always gonna have money, essentially. Because if you get Lamar, who's to say AJ gonna get extended next year? Because he's due for an extension and he's gonna get paid.
Yep. Top corner in the league, man.
So, and Drake London's after that, Kyle Pitts after that. So
Kyle Pitts come first.
You want to keep your players, you got to be able to pay them, and you can't, like y'all said, put in. A lot of fans say Matt Ryan put us in cap hell. No, the GM put us in that position because if we would have won a ring in 2016, nobody would have said nothing about how much the quarterback get paid. That shit only come out when you lose.
Yep.
So honestly, at the end of the day, it's about how the GM constructs the contract because Pat Mahomes has a fat ass contract, and I seen something the other day saying that his contract almost helps the team in a way every single season. Like his contract down there gets cheaper every season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about how you construct it because the quarterback gonna get paid. He's the guy on the team gonna get paid, but can you add people after that? Because you see the Browns even added folks, and they gave Deshaun Watson the biggest contract ever down there. So
right.
that. I mean, eventually you're going to have to pay somebody anyway. Who's to say Ritter fuck around to be all pro and you're going to have to pay him? Then what? You're not going to pay him? So,
right.
I hope Ritter, for the sake of just being the anti, just show out this year. Because honestly, it's not fair to the shit he getting. Like, if you don't want him because you want Lamar, okay, that's one thing. But if you just want to shit on this guy for no reason, then you want Mariota back?
Hey. No, sir. We don't want that guy. That man played for Philly now, bro. That's crazy.
If we won 5 to 7 games with Mariota, then with the roster we had last year, then you can't tell me that we can't win 8 to 10 with Ritter with a better roster.
With a competent passer at that, bro. He's a competent passer, and that's
all
one
he
thing.
gotta do is make the little throws, man. Last year,
Exactly.
Mariota
couldn't even throw a hitch route, bro, without overthrowing somebody.
We got this motherfucker all 6'3" and above receivers, and this motherfucker still
overthrowing receivers. How you overthrow a 6'4", 6'5" receiver, bro? Don't make no sense.
Drake London ain't start taking off until
Ritter start throwing on the ball.
But yeah, man, we gonna see what we got cooking up after that, man. So we gonna come back to y'all boys on Saturday with the live stream.
Stream day.
I really can't wait for this season, man.
You feel me?
Man,
I'm just ready to get some rolling so we can see like the results of all this they putting in. You know what I mean?
We out. We finna chop it up in that little break, that little studio, but we out on the
We out. Yes, sir, Skis.